Hello, everybody, and welcome to Classic Country Backstories. I'm Colleen Gallagher. Today's episode is about someone who knew what it was like to go from rags to riches. His career has spanned over 50 years, and his name is Johnny Rodriguez. I am so thrilled that I got the opportunity to catch up with Johnny's daughter, Aubrey Rodriguez, in Nashville for a chat. Stay tuned until the end of this episode to hear what Aubrey had to say about the life and career of her famous father. Nashville, Tennessee, country music capital of the world, home of the Grand Ole Opry, where singers and dreamers come seeking stardom. Join me as we learn about the lives and careers of those who built this town on Classic Country Backstories. Born December 10th, 1951 in Sabinal, Texas, a small town about 90 miles from the border of Mexico. He was the second youngest of 10 children. As I'm sure you've heard, there is a legend, which is a true legend, about Johnny Rodriguez. In 1969, Johnny and his friends were caught stealing and barbecuing a goat. Johnny took the rap for the group. During this jail visit, he got his first break. Johnny's singing in jail enthralled Texas Ranger Joaquin Jackson, who told promoter Happy Shahan about his talent. Shahan hired Johnny to perform at the Alamo Village, a popular South Texas tourist attraction and a well-known movie set where the John Wayne movie The Alamo and numerous other movies were filmed. The Alamo Village holds a special place in my heart because I too worked there. I visited the first time in 1979 when future country star Linda Davis was part of the cast. I came back as a performer the summer of 1981. Being a performer at this legendary movie set required that staff put on 5 music shows a day and 5 shootout reenactments per day. Each female entertainer also worked either in the cantina as a server or one of the gift shops, while the male entertainers took care of the horses and provided stagecoach rides and tours of the Alamo set. Each entertainer worked 6 days a week, 12 hours per day. While working at the Alamo Village, Rodriguez was heard by Bobby Bare and Tom T. Hall, who both encouraged him to go to Nashville to seek a recording contract. In 1971, Rodriguez, with a guitar and $14 in his pocket, boarded a plane, stepping off in Nashville. He was soon fronting Tom T. Hall's band and writing songs. Less than a year later, Hall took Johnny to meet Roy Day and Jerry Kennedy, producers for Mercury Records. They offered Johnny Rodriguez a contract on the spot after hearing I Can't Stop Loving You and If I'd Left It Up to You. 15 of his singles rose to top 10, while 6 were number 1 hits. The first of his singles to reach number 1 was You Always Come Back to Hurting Me. This was his first of 11 consecutive top 10 records, some of the songs Johnny had written or co-written. Johnny's debut album, Introducing Johnny Rodriguez, made it number 1 on all 3 trade charts. By 1973, he was nominated by the CMA for Male Vocalist of the Year and won Billboard Trendsetter Award for the first Mexican-American to capture a national audience. Johnny was burning up the charts with songs like Pass Me By, You Always Come Back to Hurting Me, Riding My Thumb to Mexico, That's the Way Love Goes, and Just Get Up and Close the Door. In addition to his music, Johnny appeared on guest spots of Adam 12 and The Dating Game. In 1979, Johnny moved from Mercury to Epic Records and worked with famed producer Billy Sherrill. His debut album, Rodriguez, contained mostly songs written by Johnny, with the exception of one. Successes included What'll I Tell Virginia, Love, Look at Us Now, North of the Border, How Could I Love Her So Much, and Rose of My Heart. In 1987, Johnny joined with producer Tom Collins at Capitol Records to record an album called Gracias, which contained hits I Didn't, Every Chance I Had, I Want to Wake Up with You, and You Might Want to Use Me Again. For a period of time, Johnny took some time away from the spotlight, stating that he was just burnt out on traveling and living in motel rooms. In 1980, he injured his back doing a karate backflip. As a result of this, he began abusing drugs again. He stated that by the mid-80s, the road and the drugs had stolen his music. He sought refuge at his home in Nashville, resting and reconnecting with friends. He made enough money to pay the bills and take care of himself. He continued to write songs during this time. In 1993, Rodriguez recorded Run for the Border while reuniting with producers Roy Day and Jerry Kennedy to recapture the fire of some of his earlier recordings, with songs like You Can Say That Again. In the past 50 years, Texas' Favored Son has released 35 albums and charted 45 singles, taking 6 to the #1 position. He has enjoyed his time touring in both the United States and abroad. Johnny Rodriguez was inducted into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame in 2007. He also received the Pioneer Award from the Institute of Hispanic Culture in 2010. He received the Living Legend Award from the CMA of Texas. Here's what his daughter, Aubrey Rodriguez, had to say about his career. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me today. I am so tickled. I've had that opportunity to work with Johnny a few times, and he is such a great guy, such a great singer, and he is a country legend. He's had 6 #1s and a massive musical career, especially in the 70s and 80s. So will you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I was born in Texas, in San Marcos, and have always obviously been around music, especially country music. Loved it from a very young age. Went to Belmont to study music business, to do something in the industry. I've been playing music since I was like 13, 14. I did little gigs in high school, kind of at restaurants and whatnot, but have had amazing opportunities to open for Loretta Lynn, T.G. Shepherd, Merle Haggard. Been very blessed to be around some really, really incredible people.
When did you know when you first wanted to be a part of it?
Oh, I don't know if there was really a moment, since it was just second nature, but I knew that I always loved being around it. It made me happy to listen to music, to play music, to watch music. It's always been very comforting and calming and just feels like home.
So has he given you any advice about the good and bad of the music business and how to avoid the pitfalls that sometimes can come with success? Has he talked to you about all of that?
He has, and that comes from a personal place for him, because he's had openly his own struggles that he's dealt with. And he just said, don't do what I did, because I know he has a lot of regret of just choices that he made, and I think he knew that if he didn't, his career could have been different or longer. And so even whether I pursue a singing career or anything of that nature, he said, just don't do what I did, and be grateful, and just make all the connections you can, and love people. And when I'm on stage, she says, just picture everybody in their underwear if you get nervous.
That's a really, really good thing to tell somebody.
Oh yeah.
So I know you're a songwriter as well as a singer. So what facet of the music business are you most interested in pursuing? Are you going to do all of those things?
I do. Yeah. I work for a label management company that also has a studio in the building now, doing a lot of the publishing side and the royalties side, making sure all of our artists are in a good spot and that everything's getting done. And I love that part. I've always been intrigued with the business end, because I think some musicians, they just want nothing to do with it. They want to go on the stage, they want to play the music and do what they love, and have somebody else deal with that part. Some are interested, but most of them are like, that, I don't want to deal with that. So I've loved being able to help other artists even understand that part of the business if they want to. That's been something that I've been passionate about for a long time, is if the artist wants to learn, I want to be the one to help them and so they can succeed, because I think knowledge is power, and especially when you've got other people, on your team. It's important to know what's going on. But I've been playing forever too. I do it on occasion now, but I think my passion and my heart is more on the business side.
So let's talk a little bit about your dad. He came from very meager beginnings, and he became a huge success.
Yeah.
Very quickly. I know he sang for several years, but did he ever talk about those earlier days, trying to find his way to get into the business? I know he came to Nashville kind of a little bit on a whim.
The goat really did it for him.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean, there were days where he was singing for food at Garner State Park. So,
wow.
Yeah, he would be out there all day singing and bring whatever he could home to his family. He was one of 10 siblings. So
yes.
He was.
Well, now, was it his idea to be the first singer to record songs in English and Spanish? Did that come from somebody else, or did he come up with that?
I wish I could answer that and be correct. Yeah. I want to say yes. I think he definitely wanted to. I don't think he would have done it if he didn't want to. But I think especially being the first Mexican American, a lot of people think it was Freddie Fender. My dad actually took Freddie to get his record deal. So my dad was technically the first Mexican American in country music. So I don't know, he might have felt like that would be a good way to bring his culture into country music.
Right. I mean, it was something so totally different.
It was.
Not only for that time, but even in this time, you don't
hear it.
And I think it's fascinating.
It is.
For people, to understand that culture and to be able to hear that. I know as a kid, I was like, wow, what is that?
I know.
And it's fascinating, and I would try to pick it up,
It's intriguing.
Exactly. It is very much so. I see. So how is he doing?
He's doing good. We talk at least twice a week. Just catching up.
That's fabulous.
Just seeing how we're doing. We'll send each other silly YouTube videos or whatever. He's been really into Bigfoot lately. So he'll send like these Bigfoot YouTube videos with people, sightings and stuff like that. He just gets on tangents and things that keeps him busy, I guess.
Well, it was such an honor to get to work with him at Vernfest and to talk with him. It'd been a long time since I'd seen him at that point. So it was great getting to do that. And he's a fabulous guy. He's a great guy.
He is.
And he's such a great talent. He's a legend, definitely. And and he's been very inspirational to a lot of us, a lot of singers, musicians across the board, and especially to the Mexican American population too. I think it's a great thing. What he has is so unique.
It is.
It is. Well, thank you for taking the time for talking to me today, Aubrey, and good luck on the show for the Next Generation show. We're so glad to have you with us, Miss Aubrey Rodriguez.
Thank you for having me.
That wraps up this episode of Classic Country Backstories. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell for upcoming episodes. I couldn't do this without the support of those of you who watch, like, and subscribe. Until next time, God bless, take care, and I'll see you later.